feel free to.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 7th Masked Cricketer. No, this is not the Masked Cricketer. That's me behind this mask. I just wanted to introduce tonight, if we can. Thanks for watching. And, you know, if any of you out there wants to be a Masked Cricketer in the future, please do private message me. And we can do that for the future, I'm sure. And that'll be brilliant going forward. There is a situation with the Lord Taverners being one of the charities we've put on our Just Giving page. They are likely to want us to change our day to a Tuesday going forward. And I think actually that won't coincide too much with Premier League football that's returning on the box in a couple of weeks' time. So watch this space. It could well be moving to a Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. But obviously we'll let you know as and when we know that. So it should be good. Lord Taverners are getting involved, and we thank you very much for your enthusiasm behind this project. The two charities still, which will scroll down the bottom of your screen, are Oxfordshire Mind and the Lord Taverners. And there is a Just Giving page. Please, if you feel like you can, just donate a few pence here and there. That would be most appreciated. Just a couple of shouts out again. Friday night, Internet's Most Amateur Quiz with Dave Freeman, still raising loads of money for charity and Great Chew Cricket Club. The Tales from the Potting Shed, Ian Bryan still going well on that, still making me smile from time to time on there. An update again from the Virtual Fest from Aston Rowant. Well over £7,500 raised now for the Ruth Strauss Foundation and for Aston Rowant Cricket Club. So great effort from them on that. And finally, and Kieran might come in here, Saturday sports show. It's the final Saturday sports show. It is moving to a Thursday evening after this week, again due to live sport coming back on free to air television, so we don't want to compete with that, so we're going to a Thursday night in the future. But Kieran, do you know what's coming up this week on that show?
To be honest with you, at the present time, no is the truthful word. But what I will say is we will have a couple of Oxford City guests again. We will be discussing what's happening with the football season coming up. Obviously, Premier League returning. Discussing probably what's going to be going on with the lower divisions, because it's still up in the air even now. So we still don't know what's going to be happening in League One with Oxford United and such like. So that will be very much up for discussion. And obviously we'll be talking more about hopefully some announcements that are going to be made this week, fingers crossed, from the ECB as to how we move forward with recreational cricket, which I'm keeping my eye on some live news feeds at the moment, because there may or may not be some breaking news over the next hour, but can't promise that. But hopefully we might have some information today, potentially, about where we're going to be standing moving forwards.
Very exciting, actually. If we had some breaking news on here, it'd be brilliant to bring that to the viewers. So yeah, watch this space. It could come out. We could be playing cricket in July. You know, keep our fingers crossed out there. So we'll see. As long as everybody's keeping safe for what we do, then all well and good. Yeah, so that's Saturday just before 4 o'clock on oxfordcityfc.co.uk broadcast radio, and it also goes out on hospital radio, Radio Cherwell, packaged together with some music. So all in all, watch out for that. And that probably brings us nicely to bringing our Masked Cricketer on air. I'm just checking the green room. Can I have a thumbs up from our Masked Cricketer that you're ready to go? Yeah, I think they're ready to go. So we will welcome our Masked Cricketer for tonight. Okay. Good evening.
Just like to add at this point, Darryl's been keeping this one very secret from me. I have not got a clue who this person is, so I'm going to be joining in as well. And so anybody that's got any questions to try and identify the masked cricketer, if you can pop them into the comments box on Darryl's page, and I will try and ask all the questions as we go through the evening. So yeah, I haven't got a clue, so this is going to be quite interesting.
Good stuff. Thanks for that, Kieran. I think this is going to be quite tough. I'm looking for some questions coming in, but I'm probably going to start with, have you played Chilwell League cricket? That's a yes, has played Chilwell League cricket. Okay. I'm going to ask, have you played home counties, either feeder or Premier League cricket? Yes. Okay. So somebody who's played Chilwell and either home counties, Premier or feeder league cricket. Good stuff. Not many questions coming in at the moment, Kieran, I see. I'm going to ask a question. Is our masked cricketer female? No. Okay, so we're 50% up on that, so that's cool. Good. Do you, I always ask this question, do you like cricket tees? We all like cricket tees. I don't know why I asked the question, to be fair. Right. What else can we put this this masked avenger under pressure? Kieran, have you got a question?
I have, because you completely blanked them again, so I'm going to ask it. Have you ever played at any stage? Have you ever played in the OCA League? Yeah.
Ooh.
There you go.
Good one. We had that last week, didn't we? And it was something we didn't actually bring up with Rob Cunliffe, because he had actually played in the OCA for Hawley. And it was it's something we didn't actually have a chance to have a conversation about, because that had been quite interesting, actually, because I think that's where it started.
It's because they mentioned OCA and you blanked it from your mind, Darryl. That's what it was.
My lips, actually, they're not sealed, are they, tonight? So they might not be sealed. Sorry, I might have to say something about the OCA again as we go through. No, I'll be fine. I'm fine. No, that's a cool one. We haven't got our normal question. Freems is not on.
There are a few. Have you ever played professional cricket?
No. Does that narrow it down for people? I don't know. It's a good one. I'm just going to change the details at the bottom of the screen, everybody. That's just a reminder, our Just Giving page for both the charities of Oxfordshire Mind and obviously the Lord Taverners. It does work. Went on there this morning. So if you're inclined to put your hand in your pocket and donate to one of those charities, that would be most appreciative. And like I say, that will roll through as we go through the show. I also want to put this banner up. Please stay tuned for our Q&A after the reveal of this particular masked cricketer, and get your questions coming in for them. That would be brilliant. Kieran, have we got anything else?
Yeah, we have. We've got a question. Are you a bowler? Are you a bowler? Yeah.
Okay, a bowler.
I suppose we ought to get this one in there as well. We get it every week. We've missed it early doors, so we'll mention it now. Have you ever played any cricket at Great and Little Chew? I wonder who that's come from.
Might be Freebs. I'm getting the feeling that everybody actually has played at Great and Little Chew at some point in their lives. I think.
Even I have.
Yeah,
Even I have.
I mean, it's a great place. Yeah, that's good stuff. So we know it's male. It's male. Sorry, he's male. We know he's played in the OCA, Cherwell, and the home counties, either feeder or Premier League. So this is interesting, and likes cricket tees, as we all do, and has also played at Great Chew. So, anything else, Kieran? My screen has gone. It's just stopped. Actually, to be fair.
Yeah, we've got a few more coming in. So we've got a question from Sarah Bean, mother of Oscar. Hi, Sarah. Are you a coach, a cricket coach? Okay.
Good. Okay.
So you are a cricket coach. Okay. Right. Does your club currently play in the Cherwell League? Yes. Well, that's narrowed it down a little bit. We've once again we've put the OCA out of it, which is a shame, but I'm sure we will get some OCA representation in the coming weeks. So you have played in all three of the major leagues, and I'm going to call the OCA a major league, Darryl, because it's an adult league. So he's played in all three leagues. OCA representation in the coming week. Right. Okay. Have you ever played any representative cricket for a county? We'll say for Oxfordshire. Yes. Okay.
There's one coming through I just noticed, and because I played my first ever Horsepath Feast game last year, which I thoroughly enjoyed, recommend it if you ever get asked to play in it, by the way. Anybody watching it, it's a fantastic day. It really is. Have you ever played in the Horsepath Feast match?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go early here. Are you Neil Megson? Sorry, Darryl, if it is.
He's doing well because he's asked a question.
Oh, you said yes. Oh no! Oh, for a second there, I thought I had
it. No. There we go. Somebody did. What else is there coming through? I think there's a lot of talk about the cricket starting as well on here. Good to see young Ed Phillips and young Harry Acklin watching. Good evening to you guys. I hope you're both well. Have you got any other hellos? Stuart Murphy has asked, "Are you a cricket badger?" I don't know if that's because you're wearing white and black. I don't know, but are you a cricket badger, masked cricketer?
Aren't we all?
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Another one here from Sarah, following on from whether he's a coach. I think this is, are you now or have you ever been? Actually, I'll sort of widen it. Are you now or have you ever been an Oxfordshire coach? And I guess that means at any level, I suppose. I'm not. Okay. Can I ask a question, Darryl?
Of course you can ask a question, Kieran. I'm excited, I know.
Have you celebrated your wedding anniversary in the last couple of days? Oh.
I know who you were thinking of. Yeah, good try. Back to the drawing board, Kieran, I think on that one.
Well, and now Megan has asked a question, so it's obviously, I guessed him and it's not him. He's just pointed out that I've missed one of the major leagues in the past. So he's just said, have you ever played in the Trinity League, which is well before my time, because obviously I'm so young.
Steady on, I played in that. That's where I started.
I rest my case.
No. Nice to see you, Wezza. I hope you and the young family are well. Anna, always good to see you. Hope all's well. George working hard. Dre, nice to see you, young man. Also, John Moss, really good to see you, John. Hope all's well with you. Business is going well, but yeah, good to see you on board. We've had a guess. Are you? Oh no, sorry. Are you over 6'4" tall?
Doesn't look it, to be fair.
That's a good point.
Maybe the top of his head. So.
That's a no. Somebody has actually asked then, are you Joe Thomas? And I'm guessing the answer to that is going to be no, because you're not over 6'4". No, not Joe Thomas.
I've got to be honest, Darryl, I am going to be struggling on this one. I don't know who this is at all. Did we get the answer? Has he played in the Trinity League? I'm not sure.
I think it was a no. Hasn't played in the Trinity League. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Nice to see you, Mervyn. Glad you're joining us, because I know there's an interesting Joe Denley Q&A tonight. So thanks for watching us as well. I appreciate that. Thank you.
We've got our favourite injured umpire on, Mr. Finch. Hope doing okay, John. He wants to know, did you play cricket last season? I think he's asking, therefore, have you retired? But did you play cricket last season? No, didn't play cricket last season. Okay.
That's good.
Does that narrow it down? Does it mean he's older than... Are you over 50?
Such a personal question, Kieran. Terrible question that to ask.
Every week, in fair.
I'm guessing there's a guess. Are you Andy Harris? No, didn't think you would be, to be fair. Johnny Meardo, I hope you're well. I hope you're keeping yourself fit. I notice you're doing the 25-day press-up challenge, so I hope that goes well. And remember not to nominate me, please. Thank you very much. That's it. I'm going to get inundated now, aren't I? Should never have mentioned that. Anyway, there we go. Oh, somebody's asked, are you Rupert Evans? Great question. Are you Rupert Evans? No. Phil Slatter.
Well, I've already asked that one.
Have you? Well, in a roundabout way. Yeah, in a roundabout way. It's a no. Bucky, okay. Good to see you, buddy. Dick, good to see. Actually asking whether you have played for Cowley Jacks. Did you play for Cowley Jacks? That was a Rupert Evans one, I think, to be fair. But really good questions coming in. Good guesses as well, Kieran, I think. That's
right. We've got a bit of another sort of relatively personal. I don't even know. I'll ask it anyway. So Sarah Bean, as she's coming up with all sorts of questions tonight, she has said, has Sarah particularly, has she ever made cricket teas for you? That will narrow it down a wee bit, because that'll make it possibly did cop.
It's a no. It's a don't know. It's a...
So maybe, Sarah, maybe, not sure.
I can't believe that you were late, Wardy. Go to your room. That's really naughty. Go to the naughty step now. Late. I don't know. Terrible. What can we do with him? Did you play for North Oxford? No, didn't play for North Oxford. Does he know who Sarah Bean is? Coming from Tim. That's brilliant. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but that is amusing. Sorry, Sarah. Leanne, nice to see you. I hope you're well in Leicestershire and still working hard. Good to see you. Tom Powers asked, do you like cheese? We do get that question.
That's Ben Charlesworth again.
It's a Cumner question, I think. That's what it is. Loves cheese. Okay, good question, Tom, because you got an affirmative. So well done. Flozzer, good to see you. Need to see if I can borrow that outfit for a future masked cricketer. I'll be in contact with you on that. See if I can outdo some of the costumes and masks that I've put on over the last few weeks. So that would be good if I could borrow that. Have you ever played for the over 50s?
Okay.
Are you left-handed?
Proper bat.
Proper bat. Oh, he's not a proper bat. What am I doing
Right.
getting these people on that are not proper bats? Terrible. I don't know.
So if you're over 50, I'm going to ask, because it probably will be the case, have you got any kids that play cricket? So do you have any offspring that play cricket? Doesn't really narrow it down. I just thought I'd ask. That could be anything.
Oscar, you're right. Get your parents off Facebook now. You're going to have to, mate. Good stuff. No, they've been brilliant. Do you bowl filthy off spin? Is a question from Wardy, not me. I hasten to add. No, he doesn't bowl filthy off spin. Okay. Kieran, I think there is an answer on there. Is there? I'll let you ask that question.
I think I'm behind you because I haven't seen the answer yet, so you're going to have to ask that.
Okay. Megas, good to see you. You were obviously late as well. Get to your room on the naughty step. How dare you be late? 7 o'clock, Wednesdays. Come on, put it in your diary, guys. You know.
I've now seen the guess. Are you Keith Arnold?
Arnie.
Is that the guess?
Is it Arnie? It's not Arnie. Okay. I think, what are we? We're good 20 odd minutes in, aren't we?
There's another question which I missed from earlier. I'll ask this one. So obviously Freeves asked, have you ever played at Chew? I think your sister-in-law, was it your sister? I always get it wrong. Your sister-in-law.
Yeah, Leslie.
So following on from have you ever played at Great Chew, do you play for Great Chew? Great and Little Chew? That'll really narrow it down if it's a yes.
Yes. Have you got an idea, Kieran?
Say again?
Have you got an idea who it is?
No.
Okay.
Over 50, plays for Great Chew. I was going to say Rob Garrett, but I don't think he plays for Chewy. Are you Rob Garrett? Is that a good guess?
It's a good guess.
No.
The incorrect guess. You were on the right lines with the children playing, Kieran. That's
where I was going. So, yeah. Okay.
Guess is coming in.
Right. I think I might potentially have an idea. So you've got children that play cricket. Have your children played for Oxfordshire? Okay, I'm getting there.
Putting it together, piecing it together, Kieran. I can hear your mind clicking over, actually.
It's really annoying that you haven't told me this week because normally it means I'm not going to be anywhere near prepared. But I think I'm getting an idea now. I'm gonna get close to answering it. How do your children play professional cricket? Yeah. Okay. Should we go for the guest that's just come in?
Yeah, I think so.
We have from a few people: Dave Freeman, Neil Megson, your sister-in-law, I believe. Are you Kevin Taylor?
Kev,
That threw me then.
decloak yourself, young man, and I will unmute you at the same time. Thanks for joining us, Kev. How are you doing?
I'm very well, mate.
He's asked a question, so I was thinking if he's asked a question, it's not going to be him. That's why I never went to that.
That's my wife asking the questions.
We had you in two places at once, Kev. That was a great plan, and that was hatched, I have to say, by Ange. So I think brilliant, great effort. Kev, thanks for doing this and taking your time out on a Wednesday evening to do this and have a bit of fun with us. Just our normal question: how's things been during lockdown? Really, how have you coped? And what have you been up to? Really?
Well, it's not been too bad in lockdown, to be honest. It's you probably don't know this, but we moved into a new house just before Christmas. So there's been plenty to do. And we've kept, me and Ange have kept ourselves busy. But obviously work has been a no-no. Last couple of weeks we've done little bits and pieces safely, but it's we've just stayed safe and we've stayed at home. So
you didn't move into Beck's old place, did you?
No. We moved out. We were neighbours of Beck's, as you probably know, and I'm pretty certain he didn't like my van rolling past his house at 7 o'clock every morning. So he probably bought the place we were renting and knocked it down. Who knows?
Brilliant, great stuff. Yeah. Were you anywhere near Patrick Stewart's? I mean, he lives out that way as well, doesn't he?
No, Patrick Stewart's Little Chew. He, I know exactly where he is, and Mum and Dad used to see him quite a bit, and walking his dogs through the village, and apparently really nice chap. So yeah. He's Little Chew.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh no, great stuff. I mean, I've got some great questions to ask you, Kieran. Is there anything coming in on Facebook Live to ask?
Ward has said that you lie because you do bowl, Phil, apparently. Yeah. Freebs has said you've never turned a ball in your life. So,
there is no such thing as spin in my repertoire. It was always slow bowling.
It's the best way, isn't it?
I didn't bowl filthy spin. I bowled slow.
I didn't really bowl anything. So sort of more
no, nudies, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, Kev, so obviously really good to see you and great to catch up with you. Obviously, we're all going through sort of tough times waiting for cricket to start again. And I know you said you didn't play last year, but do you get the feeling like I do that actually a lot of people are I'm renowned for being relatively miserable at times. I'm being quite positive. You get the feeling that this enforced lockdown might actually have the opposite effect to what people are fearing, and actually make people realise just what they're missing, and therefore moving forward, potentially it could actually be in a roundabout way something really good that's happened to cricket.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Kieran. It's something that I've been thinking about as well, and it's it's like the old saying, isn't it? You don't miss it until you haven't got it. So I guess people are actually now chomping at the bit. I mean, I haven't played for 2 years, and I had every intention of turning out this year. And obviously, having been, we've all been in lockdown and just talking about the game, and it's made me sort of really want to play even more than I did 2 years ago. So yeah, if I'm feeling like that, then I guess a lot of the the younger generation are, which who I know are probably missing it terribly.
It's kind of a case of absence makes the heart grow fonder for me. I mean, I haven't really played cricket at any stage in my life. I just turn up and I'm just there, but I haven't really played a game of cricket apart from one game about 2 years ago for probably 5 or 6 years, and I'm missing it more than I thought I would. I'll be honest, but in a strange sort of way, people are quite worried about me because I'm being really positive, which is very unlike me. I'm normally the most negative, miserable person on the planet. But I just feel, as I say, in the fullness of time, people will realise what they miss, and it might actually be a kind of a shake-up that was perhaps needed. Maybe get some encouragement back into sort of almost sort of a bit of a community feel as well. Because cricket, when I was growing up, I was never particularly good, but it was always very much a community. And cricket, I mean, I know that the OCB say this a lot. Cricket is a family, and I feel that just like missing your family, you're missing your friends that you go out with on a cricket field and that you have a drink with afterwards. And it is a social thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's yeah, it is. It's more than just, you know, the game, as we all know. It's everything else that goes with it.
Yeah, I was going to go through some questions I had for you. I think it'd be really good to get your feel about being the proud parent of having you know, two sons that have gone on to play professional cricket. And we had a conversation the other day about it, didn't we? And it's some really good stories, I think, for both of them. And they're quite different players, I think, as well. And you might allude to that in a moment.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything and let you sort of really gloss up, you know, their careers of where they've come from, you know, to where they are now, and how it's been for them over the last 2 or 3 months as well. Can you give us a bit more info on their sort of rise, if you like, through the cricketing fraternity?
Yeah, obviously, you know, that they were both born into cricket. With me and Dad and my brother Neil, so you know, that was our main sport. All three of us. Football, we all played a bit of football, but cricket was our sport. And you know, early on, from the boys when they were little, all they wanted to do was come to cricket with me on a Saturday. And obviously, when they got to the age of you know, wanting to be at cricket all the time, then obviously Ange got more and more involved, and you know, it became this is what we did as a family. We just did cricket. And obviously Matt being, you know, as they progressed, you know, through the Chew age groups, I think Jack's first game for the club for Chew was for the under-13s at Bicester and North Oxford, actually. Darryl, you might have even been there.
Yeah.
Paul Catlin was managing the under-13s at Chew then, and he phoned me at work one day and he said, Kev, he said, we're one short over at Bicester tonight. Will Jack play? And I said, are you having a laugh, Paul? I said, he's 6. Yeah, we'll put him at fine leg, both ends, and you know, he probably won't have to bat anyway. And of course, you know, that didn't happen. He ended up bowling and batting in pairs cricket, and he went out to bat with a guy called Paul Allen, who played for Chew then, who at 13 was 6 foot. And they were batting in pairs. It was pairs cricket over at Bicester. And you got Jack at about 3 foot nothing, and Paul Allen at 6 foot. And neither of them were wearing helmets either, because back then, 22 years ago, helmets weren't recognised for kids. And so that's one for, and then obviously, you know, they've just gone through the age groups at Chew, Matty as well. I don't think they played first team cricket together at Chew, because at 16, Jack moved down to Bristol for the summers and had to play cricket down in Bristol. And that was when Matty was sort of just coming up to 14 and started sort of breaking into the first team. So I don't think they played together in Chew first. I'm pretty certain they didn't.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, and then on through getting recognised and playing through the junior Oxfordshire teams. And
can I just come back to that, because you said, you know, Matt was 14 there, because when I started my journey as a coach for the pathway in the county, Matt was our opening bowler at under 14 level, and I, you know, hand on heart, I've always said this, and both myself and Andy Martindale, who were the team together at that stage, has said Matt was one of the most unluckiest bowlers we'd ever had in our system. And I still say that to this day. I don't think there's been a bowler that's been so unlucky, because he had pace, but he he did tend to go for runs, and he was just, you know, people dropped catches and stuff like that, and people couldn't sometimes get a bat on him, and if they did, down the third man, or you know, it went for runs. So for me, he's the most unluckiest bowler. So my question, I suppose, is from Matt's perspective, is what sort of helped that? You know, what sort of changed his fortunes, if you like, as he got.
Yeah, I just think it's you know, it's when Matt obviously played. I mean, Matt used to open the bowling for the county with Tom Nugent, the Berkshire. You know, they're the same age, and you know, Matty. Tom used to get. Matty always said Tom used to get my wickets, but you know, Matt obviously Tom's fantastic bowler as well, and you know, I think you know, he had the opportunity to go on. He played a few games for Hampshire, I think, didn't he, Tom?
Yeah.
But Matty got into the Oxfordshire Academy, where he worked with you and Jason Harrison and stuff in St Edwards on a Wednesday night. And I think you guys encouraged him to keep bowling fast, but it was about control. Don't, you know, whatever you mustn't, don't take the pace off, but your control will come. And so everybody, wherever he went, I mean, he did some wonderful sessions with John Derrick. If you remember John Derrick, obviously passed away 2 or 3 years ago. Paul John, lovely guy. And every time he saw me at cricket down at Gloucester, he'd ask if Matty wanted to go and bowl in the nets, and it was awesome. You know, he didn't need to do it. He didn't even know him really. And like John Derrick was working with Matty, you know, just letting him bowl fast. And obviously, you know, the control comes with maturity. So, and that's, you know, that's probably Matty's greatest asset now is his accuracy. You know, he's always there or thereabouts the pads, and he gets a lot of wickets through LBW and bowled. Just control.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a brilliant effort, you know, from where he was and where he came from. I sort of alluded again that Jack for me, you know, when I saw him, he was a mentally tough cricketer, and I put him in a totally different sort of envelope to Matt, because it did feel like Jack would play first class cricket because of that mental ability. I did feel that. It's probably a little bit harder for Matt in some respects. I guess. Would that be right? Or
yeah, that's true, Darryl. I mean, Jack's always sort of been up for the challenge, no matter whether, you know, at 15, Keith Arnold was bowling at him for Banbury 20 Club. You know, that he's always relished the challenge. He's never been fazed by you know, you won't intimidate him. Because he always backs himself to the hilt, and I think self-belief is Jack's strength. I mean, he believes in himself, and you know, he'll always back himself. Doesn't matter who's down the other end, and obviously, you know, you alluded to it earlier, but you know, he's so tough. He's a tough. You know, he's been through some tough times at Gloucester, as you know, but you know, he's so tough and resilient, and he doesn't see it as a wall. He sees it as a hurdle, and he will get over that hurdle as opposed to hitting a wall. So, and Matty's always been, you know, the coaches, even you guys could see it. The coaches down at Gloucester when he first started going down there and it was the moment he started to believe in himself. That was with Matt. They said the moment he starts believing in himself, you know, that's when he made progress to the next level. And yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, as you know, you guys, Darryl, you've played good standard of cricket. It's not all about, you know, the talent. It's about the attitude and the head and the will to, you know, the want to do it. Yeah. And their work ethic is you know, something that I'm really proud of. They work so hard. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Actually, Dick Giles has mentioned it's interesting that Jack is right-handed and Matt's left-handed. You know,
yeah,
it's a strange one, that actually, isn't it?
Well, Matt, yeah, that's right. They're both bat right-handed. Yeah, they're both left-handed. But Jack is a right-footed footballer and Matt is a left-footed footballer. It's weird.
It's strange, isn't it? It really
It is. It's very strange, and there's no, there's no left armers in our families, and there's no pace bowlers in our families, as you probably know. Me, my dad, Jack, my brother Neil. We all bowled slow. So, well, yeah.
Brilliant.
But I've had the DNA test. Matty's definitely mine. So.
Yeah, good. Kieran, do you want to add anything to the likes of Jack and Matt's career so far?
I would actually, yeah. I've got a few things about Jack and Matt, and also about yourself, Kevin. First of all, I'd like to take you back, if I could. I remember watching it with massive pride, and I guess the pride would have been multiplied by a huge magnitude for you. Taking you back to September 2015 and that Lord's final. I think it was a 6-run win or something very, very. It wasn't much anyway. Jack won man of the match, and this was, as you just alluded to, this was at a time where he'd come through some tough times. It proved the mental toughness clearly, but the way he handled himself that day, taking, I think, the match-winning catch as well. It just almost felt to me like almost it was meant to be for him that day. On the big stage, man of the match, scoring all those runs, taking the wickets, and taking the winning catch. You must have been gushing with immense pride that day. I mean, I can tell now.
Unbelievable. I mean, I can't believe. I mean, we see him. To be honest, this is going to take some believing. But me and Ange didn't sleep the night before. We were down in London at a hotel, and we were out of bed and changed like 6 a.m, thinking, "Shit, what do we?" Sorry. If Piers Morgan can swear, no, it wasn't. Anyway, it was the other guy.
You're all right. Don't worry.
Nobody heard.
It was the other guy, the hairdresser, who swore this morning. We were actually outside Lord's cricket ground, me and Ange, at like 7:30 in the morning, thinking, we might as well be there because and the gates were all shut, as you can imagine, and about 10 to 8, sort of, we were stood round by the nets outside the ground, and I looked across and I said to Ange, I said, that's Jack going into the nets. And it was just before 8 in the morning. I mean, he just wanted somebody to throw some balls at him, and we stood outside looking through the gates and watching him have a net. And then we spoke to him just before he went across to the, we'd been let in, and he was going across to the changing rooms, and he had a chat with us. And I just said to Ange at the time, I said, I can't believe how calm he is. I mean, I'd be a bag of nerves even now at my age. I'd be, yeah, he was just up for the challenge, and obviously, it was his day.
Am I right? He took that catch in front of you guys, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought that was
Me, Ange, Dave Freeman, Matty was sat about 4 seats away from us because Matt was injured and obviously didn't play in that game. And I was sat next to Rob Cunliffe the whole match. And Tim Hancock was just behind us as well. And Jack took the catch right in front of us all. And I could name probably 30 people on that framed photograph, where he was right in front of us. It was amazing.
Actually, Rob's alluded to saying nice words, saying both two very level-headed pros in Matt and Jack. So that's really nice coming from Rob, our sixth master cricketer from last week. And he's asked a question about having a beer early doors.
God, yes. And did he also mention about the person who chickened out of the beer with us?
Is that Rob?
Slats.
Oh, Slats. Oh, right.
Yeah, no. I think it was about 9:45, and Rob was sat next to me. He got a rucksack, and he said, "Fancy one of these, boy?" so we did. But yeah, we had a couple before the start, and that's enough for me at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Absolutely. Kieran, sorry, I butted in there. Apologise.
That's all right. I'm used to it. That's fine. Kev, just going back to, so I mean, with Jack, obviously, I kind of took personally a great deal of sort of satisfaction seeing what would happen that day, because Jack was kind of, from my perspective, was one of the first young cricketers that we had any sort of involvement with at all when he was growing up. And obviously, you remember I think you were there with your dad when we did a feature on Jack for the Whitney Gazette back in 2003.
Yeah, it is.
It was a really nice day, but it was really cold. And I remember Jack saying in that interview that this was when he was about 14, 15 years old. He said that one of his dreams is to score the winning runs at Lords. He didn't score the winning runs as such, but he took the winning catch. So he went all that way, and he's done that. I just want to talk about Matt as well, because sometimes, as you say, Matt was sadly he wasn't available for that game, but he's really developed over the course of the last few years. I'm just looking at some stats now. In first class cricket, the economy rate below 4, we'd always ask for that. Fantastic strike rate. So Matt is obviously a completely different sort of player, a seam bowler predominantly. But he really is. He really is not only holding his own. He's, dare I say, I can say this. He's probably a first choice name most weeks, isn't he, for Gloucestershire in all the formats that he plays.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that, Kieran. I mean, when obviously, when he's fit, he seems to play, and obviously, that makes sense anyway. But I mean, he obviously fast bowlers they do break down with injuries and stuff. But Matty does, he does feature in all formats, and I mean he'd bowl all day and night if he could, but obviously they do manage them very well, and he's a good T20 bowler as well, Matt. He bowls well at the front and at the death. His Yorkers, he's got wonderful Yorkers, and obviously I think he's the only bowler to ever bowl a maiden at Chris Gale in the T20.
That's quite an achievement.
Yeah, down at Bristol, it was a packed house, 16,000, which is a massive crowd for Gloucester. Chris Gale's obviously the entertainment. He's probably brought another 6,000 through the gates. And I said to Matt earlier on that afternoon, we were having coffee down there, and I said, "There's every chance, mate, you're going to open the bowling against Gale tonight." And I said, "How do you feel about that then?" He said, "See how it goes, then." He said, "Could happen." Anyway, of course, it did happen, and he bowled a maiden at him, and I think he left a couple, but he didn't leave all 6. He played and missed at the other 3 or 4. So that's.
I can't obviously talking about Matt and Jack go without talking about the old fella who obviously we sadly lost him last year, and in a strange sort of way, it was almost pride that you entrusted in me to sort of help you with writing something for him. Gordon was immensely proud of his 2 grandchildren, wasn't he? And he got to see both of them achieve something that he never did. And I guess that sort of satisfaction, although it was very, very sad that we lost him, an absolute legend. He had a very, very sort of happy time in his sort of retirement years, watching his 2 grandchildren, and also, as you mentioned to me before, his other grandchildren, Robbie, Tanya, James, George, all performing at such a good level in their own sport. So,
definitely,
there's obviously something in the Taylor genes, isn't there, that you can produce the goods.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's all about attitude, really. I mean, Dad was a winner even in the days of friendly cricket, OCA. I mean, I remember, Dad, every game was, there was no sort of worthless games. Every time he had a ball in his hand or a bat in his hand, it was to win the game for the club. And, that rubbed off on me and my brother. And, obviously you mentioned Robbie and Tanya, both amazing runners, athletes. I mean, Neil's daughter, she had a English schools vest running for England in the cross country. Robbie still doing marathons now. James and George, very talented golfers and footballers. And I think it all stems from Dad, because sport has been our life, and and it's you don't just take part. It's you take part for a reason, and and Dad taught us that, definitely. He did me, and it just rubbed off on the boys, I guess. And
yeah, I was going to say, is he the main inspiration, do you think, for well, not only you but the boys as well? Was it
yeah,
him?
Pardon?
Was it from him that the inspiration?
Yeah, I think it. I mean, Dad, so supportive. He was supportive of me when I so supportive of me when I was growing up. He used to take me to the county games when I played with you, Darryl, and Megas. And it's just about having somebody supporting you and believing in you, and it's I mean, we can thank him for that. He gave us that belief. So he's amazing role model. And Dad's last game of cricket, actually, I think I mean, for you guys who were at Dad's funeral, Dad's last game of cricket, he played with Jack in the second team, and I think Jack was batting at 10, Dad was 11. Dad went into bat, and Jack went up to him and said, "Grampy, give me the strike and we'll be fine." And they walked off. They batted 11 overs together, and they walked off and drew the game at Wolverton. And Dad hung his boots up there and then. He said, "I don't need to do any. I don't need to do anything else. I played with a grandson, and
Brilliant.
That's me lot." And he was 65 at the time.
Fair play. Fair play. Really, really good.
He'd have carried on if he could. If he could have got his arm over, he'd have carried on. But bless him.
Absolutely. No, brilliant. I mean, were you sort of hands on? We talking about Rob and his dad, and doing throwdowns for a million times. Were you hands on? Were you?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Early did it because you kept throwing down.
Yeah. Oh no. Absolutely. Yes. Just constantly throwing down, mate. And to be honest, there was no sidearms then when they were going through the junior. I think it was no sidearms. Now you guys have got it easy.
Yeah.
It's it was the shoulder that did the throwdowns.
Yeah.
But no, that just everywhere we went, beach holidays and stuff. And it's funny actually because me and Andrew chatting about this, about when the boys were little and we used to go to the beach and we set the stumps up, and of course Jack had grabbed the bat, Matty'd have to bowl, and Matty'd just bowl and bowl and bowl and bowl, and when Jack decided he didn't want to bat anymore, he used to pack up, and so then they used to fall out, have a punch up.
My family's watching this, they're thinking, "Oh yeah, he used to do that." Oh, he used to do that. Terrible.
But
equipment home. That was it. The end of the game.
Yeah, finished. Yeah, that's it now. I've had enough. I'll go for a swim.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, we've alluded there to Great Chew and Gordon, who was a legend, a Chew legend and an Oxfordshire legend through, to be fair. I want to just ask you the question of Chew's transformation. I remember going there, seeing this, and we spoke about this. I was very deflammatory, saying there was a shed at the side of the Great Chew. It was a shed cum pavilion, wasn't it? But it had a real character. And,
definitely.
Great going to Chew in those days. But just give us a little bit of an idea of how that sort of worked and the happy times in that shed, as I call it.
Oh, I mean, absolutely amazing. And it was a proper old school pavilion. There's, people of our generation will all remember it, but it was just a proper cricket pavilion. And I remember if you were on the balcony at the old Pavy and there was a kids game going on, you were actually at square leg, because the wickets were so close to that side for the kids matches. You were literally 30 yards from the wicket, and it was amazing. And it obviously it served us so well. And then a few of the guys put a little extension on it, then we put the bar in it, and obviously that made a huge difference, having a proper bar. And then it got to the stage where it was in such disrepair. It was just not economical to keep repairing it. So when we got the grants and the help with funding to build the new one, me and Dad actually pulled that down with the tractor, his tractor up there. We tied some ropes around the front one in October, and we just pulled it to the ground. And then I rung the fire brigade, and I said, "Do you want to do a practice? Would you like to do a practice run here?" Because I said, "We got our old pavilion I pulled to the ground, and I'm going to put a match to it." "You can't do that." He said, "No, you can't do that." But anyway, we sort of made smaller bonfires, and me and Dad burnt it. And I've got in my van, actually, I've got a little bag of the ashes of the old pavilion, which we were due to play for, on President's Days and things. But to be honest, it never materialised. But I've still got a little bag of the ashes of the old pavy.
Oh, that'd be good to recollect, actually, wouldn't it? To do.
Pardon?
It'd be good to bring that back and actually play for.
Yeah. Well, Dave Freeman, he's probably mentioned it before. Dave Freeman's got his old hook from the dressing room where Dave used to sit in the dressing room. He kept that little piece of wall with his hook on it, and just little things like that are just wonderful to.
He's said that he thinks you're one of the few players who appeared in both the bowling and batting top 100 of the Cherwell. That's a bit of a record, Kev.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, somebody I didn't even know these stats existed until it was pointed out to me. And to be honest, never been on my heart. I'd never been on those stats. And Andy Darby pointed it out to me one day. He said, "Do you realise you've taken 400 wickets and scored 4,000 runs?" And I said, "No idea, mate." And he said, "Yeah, I'm right behind you," or something like that. But
yeah. Actually, just thinking about it, then, did you not keep any sort of cuttings or records at all of your own stuff? And are you only for the boys?
No. When I've got a scrapbook from when I took over as captain off poor Catlin. Obviously, that's when I sort of met Ange and she started coming to cricket. I took over as captain, and we used to keep the little cut-ins and whatnot. And
it's great.
Yeah, so got a big scrapbook, but nothing like Neil Megson's got.
No, like Megas. No, that's true.
No, nothing like Megas.
Megas is the absolute definition of. I mean, the question was asked earlier, but he is the definition of badger, isn't he? He really is. Really.
I'm just going to say about the Just Giving page. Still running across the bottom of the screen there. If you've had some good fun tonight, a bit of entertainment, please dig deep if you can and give to those two charities, Oxfordshire Mind and the Lord Taverners. That would be fantastic if you could do that. Kieran, there are a few questions, a few hellos, perhaps on the Facebook Live, I see.
There are, but as we promised at the very start of this broadcast, there is some breaking news. So if you want me to give you this breaking news,
broadcasting breaking news.
It's not the most exciting breaking news, but it is another small positive baby step, I think, towards something. So I'll read it straight from the screen because I can't paraphrase. So the outcome of today's fortnightly meeting between ECB and Premier League chairman have the following key points. And the key points are the ECB remain absolutely determined that there will be some recreational cricket played in 2020, although we are still some way from that happening. Before we move to the stage of full games, there will be an intermediate stage of adapted play. And that is playing in adjusted formats, for example, shortened games, brackets T20, in smaller groups, so maybe 6 sides they're talking about there potentially, or with fielding restrictions. Small group guidance to support this adapted play stage is anticipated to be published by the ECB within the next 48 hours. So that is kind of quite promising. They're sort of talking now around, bringing some sort of format in that we can see from cricket. So there are baby steps, Darryl, aren't they? But they are steps that are being taken. So for those that are desperately waiting, I think we can cling on to that, and there'll be further update within the next couple of days. So presumably by the weekend, we'll know more.
Yeah, I think we've done a lot of speculating over the last few weeks, haven't we? We've had time to do that. I think we've probably just got to sit tight and and wait to get these announcements and, you know, have some plans in place. We're doing that tomorrow, actually, as a club. We're meeting and seeing what we can do to make sure we're not behind the 8 ball should cricket become, you know, a thing, you know, in July. So, you know, to plan ahead. But it will be interesting to see what comes out, keeping everybody safe, obviously, which is the main criteria at the end of the day. So, yeah, no, that's good. Kieran, I was going to say that it's lovely. Rob has said, listening to Kevin talking about Gordon and the boys, doesn't it make you feel proud to be an Oxfordshire lad? And I think that's a great little statement, actually, and I agree with it 100%. Really good. I was going to ask a couple more questions, Kieran, but have you got anything you want to say before I do?
Yeah, a couple of questions on your cricket, Kevin, because we've sort of glossed over your cricket a wee bit, but I think it's only fair to say that you're not, you know, you weren't the worst cricketer yourself, clearly. So a couple of questions. So one of them is, in your playing career, whose wicket did you always want to get?
Craig helped.
That's a very straight answer. Very good. Very good. And why is that?
I did a couple of times.
I mean, presumably, you know, he's obviously he's a classy player. I think he's retired now, I believe. But
well, he's getting very fit, so watch this space.
Yeah, fantastic. So that's a great answer, because he's obviously a bit of a legend in Oxfordshire cricket himself. All that time up at Banbury. Another question. Now, obviously, you've sort of semi-retired from cricket, but you've played some over 50s. Do you have sort of any ambitions left yourself, or is it sort of predominantly through what Jack and Matt are doing now, or do you have any sort of personal ambitions left in cricket yourself?
No, just to have a game, just to play a game, really. I mean, there's nothing, there's no targets or no, just to have a game and enjoy it, and obviously do my bit, and yeah, no, nothing. I've not got like the 60+ team where I'm aiming for or anything. So no, just to play again. I mean, I didn't play because I had an accident at work about three and a half years ago, which put me out for 2 seasons anyway. And then by that time, you know, I'd sort of lost that sort of appetite to play, the urge, and but it sort of came back this winter. Where I felt I could, yeah.
And now the extended break making you even more determined.
And
it's great.
And Chu could do with a few numbers and a few players, to be honest.
Well, as I said, I know I've done it before, but I'm coming out of retirement as well. So, although obviously
they're not that desperate, are they, Kev? They're not that desperate.
Pardon?
They're not that desperate, are they?
I'm not commenting there.
There's a couple of things about your playing career as well. You did play a minor counties game in 2002.
I did, yes. I didn't know whether that question would. Yeah, that question didn't come up, did it, tonight?
Well, we should have done. We should have asked.
Well, yeah, never mind. That'll through a few people, because 2002, the Oxfordshire minor counties team were playing Banbury first team in their final warm-up game before the season kicked off, and I took Aaron Nye, our Australian, to what I said, I'll pick you up, we'll go and watch. Yeah, I'd love to, mate. I think Jack Potter was in charge then, and Aaron knew him, and we'd no sooner got out the car than Arnie's come running across, because Arnie was skipper then. Oh no, was it Arnie or Hort? It was Arnie, I think. Arnie came running across, said, Kev, is this your Aussie? Yeah. Would you go and get your kit? We're too short. So anyway, within half an hour, we were back at the ground, and we both played. And so even though it wasn't a competitive game, it was a yeah. And I bowled, and I got a wicket.
Good stuff.
Yeah, and yeah, really enjoyed it.
With that filth, as Wardy said, was it? So.
I actually, I think I had Jimmy Phillips, RBW. That was my wicket, and yeah. So he should be. That's something he can dine out on when he gets older.
Love it. I also want to just, because we've just passed the hour, and I'm always conscious I don't want to go too long past the hour, but there's a couple of questions I do want to ask. The VKO, I think that was 2014 that Great Chew got to Lord's final as well. Amazing achievement for the club. How was that?
Oh, just unbelievable, mate. Honestly, it was something that, you know, the old boys, Dad and his generation sort of, you know, dreamt of going to Lord's. When it first came out in the 70s, it was called the Hague National Village Competition or something, and they only entered it because the chairman then, Geoffrey Cleland, or secretary, I think he was, said, if we get to the Lord's final, we will get a bottle of whiskey. So what a wonderful prize that would be, you know, not just playing at Lord's, it was getting a bottle of whiskey. So they entered it, and you know, for Dad to be able to, you know, to lead the team out with Dave Freeman on that day is something that, you know, I'm going to remember till the end. It's, you know, just huge, you know, all what he's been so proud of following the boys around and watching their achievements, and then to lead his club out as well, you know, to the Lord's final was, and then obviously that's the year before, you know, the Gloucester final. So two years running, Dad, he led his team out one year, and then the following year he's watching his grandson get man of the match. I mean, absolutely incredible.
Does it get better than that? Sure.
Well, it takes some writing to get a better script than that, to be honest. But yeah, no, amazing. And you know, for the club, it was a wonderful occasion, and yeah, the atmosphere around the club that year, and you know, the night before and things, it was just absolutely incredible.
Kev, can I just take you back to that? Can I just take you back to that? Just as a side issue, again, as you say, the achievement of getting to the final. I think I followed you quarter, semi, and then the final. I'm sure you won't mind me mentioning this. What was made of the decision on the toss in the final? Because
I think he wanted a quick game, Mick Hunt.
Yeah,
because there's me, Andy Harris, and Phil looking at the wicket. You know, it's 10 o'clock on a September morning, a lot of dew about, on the edge of the square, and Mick. You know, we were, I think, all through the rounds we'd stuck the opposition in and then chased them down, and which is you know, what we'd done in the previous round. And Mick Hunt said, "Have you played in this final before?" "No." "Get runs on the board." And we looked at each other. He said, "If this is your first final, you need to get runs on the board." He said, in a Lord's final, get runs on the board, he said, and you'll be fine. And we all looked at each other thinking, well, we don't, that's not what we do. Of course, Andy Harris won the toss, chose to bat with our mine and Phil's blessing, because if Mick Hunt doesn't know, who the bloody hell does know?
Exactly.
He stood right next to us, and of course, when it was announced over the microphone to the thousands of people there, Great Chew have won the toss and elected to bat. I looked up, and the opposition's balcony were jumping up and down, and
and the rest is history.
The rest is history, mate. Yeah.
I've got one more question from me, and it's about your coaching career with Oxfordshire, because that was quite a successful journey as well. I think you had a really good team in yourself and Gary Sampson. I think you worked really well together. And I see my lad Matt's on viewing, so I know he was particularly fond of you both, the way you handled the team and how successful those teams were. Did you feel you had a bit of just things that clicked together as a team? I'm sort of asking for some of our
definitely
working together now.
Yeah, definitely. We, you know, the selection process through the winter, you know, we had some amazingly talented kids in those age groups. We sort of blended two age groups together virtually, and it was incredible, really. You know, some hugely talented cricketers around then, and we had some 3 wonderful seasons, me and Gary, and it was it was an absolute joy and a pleasure to I told you, Darryl, a couple of days ago when we spoke, I think it's like you get a manager and a coach, but me and Gary sort of did it slightly differently. We did both jobs together, and it worked really well for us. So yeah, loved it, awesome, and we had some good lads. We had some very good lads in there, talented lads, and it's great to see that so many of them are still playing very, very good cricket now. Which they are.
Just following on with Gary, I had the pleasure of just working with him very briefly. He did one of the Jersey tours that we went on, and what I noticed with Gary is he really does wear his heart on his sleeve, doesn't he? He bats and bowls every single. I know Darryl does as well, but he really cares, and he's obviously still coaching and he's back to cricketer now. But he's a cracking guy, isn't he? Because he puts his heart and soul into it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's fantastic guy and very calm, and he's got some great little tweaks. What he can bring in these little things. He's not one of these coaches who tries to change things majorly. There's little tweaks, and he's a very good coach, Gary, and he delivers it brilliantly. And I've got so much respect for him. It was a pleasure to work with him for those 3 years, I must say. Really, really good. And I learned a lot of him as well.
It's a shame you're not still involved, in fairness. Is that a ship that's gone, has sailed, not likely to come back to that? Or
for me?
Yeah.
No, I can't. No, it's as you guys know, you know me well enough about my my personal and private life. It's the boys, their cricket is everything really, and their season's long, starts end of March, finishes middle of September, and I know the Oxfordshire coaching's through the winter and stuff, but it's we're full on, me and Ange. I work hard, and then we watch a lot of cricket, and that's what we do. We follow the boys around, and we are badgers, Kieran, both of us. I mean, in fact, she's listening. I know she's listening in there. Angie's she's a bit of a slightly bigger badger than me. She usually finds out the information, and then she makes out that it was me who found it out. But she's got I mean, it's wonderful because basically she loves cricket as well. So
Kevin, thank you. We're going to wrap it up, I think, because we've gone over a little bit over the hour. So, but a big thank you from me for taking your time out to be our 7th master cricketer, and really entertaining, really good points for our youngsters going forward. There's 2 things that we normally add. If you had a superpower, Kev, what would it be?
What would it be?
Yeah.
If I had a superpower, what would it be?
Put you on the hardest.
If I had a superpower, what would it be? Tell
you what, Kev, while you're thinking about that, the other question I was going to ask, if you've got anything to say to parents of inspiring, kids that are inspiring to play first-class cricket, can you impart any advice on those people as well, or from your experiences? Can you help them, with a few wise words, if you like?
No, basically just to let them, don't try and inspire them, let them inspire you. And, we didn't force anything down. If you've got a talented child there, playing the game, and, you can see he's got something about him, make sure it's him that inspires you, and don't try and do it for him, because, he may fall out of love, just down the line. You don't know. I've seen it in Oxfordshire cricket, to be honest. And to be honest, the boys just inspired me and Ange to one Sunday, Ange be in Cornwall and I'll be in Cambridgeshire, and the following Sunday I'll be in Devon and she'd be in Herefordshire, and that's what we did, and we would do it all again. It's just wonderful. Just let them inspire you. Just let them inspire you. Let them be your inspiration to definitely just, you know, go easy on them and let them lead you.
I remember we did speak about Matt's minor county debut as well, which we forgot to add.
Wow.
His first ball was hit for a massive 6. Can you take up the story after that?
Yes, I will. Exactly. I can remember this. It was against Herefordshire away. I think it was at Colwell or Colwell, is it? Do you pronounce it? Colwell? Yeah. And anyway, they're coming out, and I see Hort's having a chat with Matt, and he's clearly going to ask Matt to open the bowling. So I ring Slats, and I said, mate, you ain't going to believe this. I said, he's opening the bowling. And he said, Phil said, stay on the line, mate, and give me commentary. I want first over commentary. And I said, yeah, okay. So I'm stood down by the stamp out, you know, always out of the eye line of it. I never, that's another thing, parents. Don't get in their eye line. When they're batting, get over there. When they're bowling, get over there. You know. Anyway, I'm stood square on to Matt bowling, and he's come running. I said to Phil, well, oh mate, he's coming in, he's running, he's up to wicket, he bowls, he's dragged it down. Oh dear, that's gone miles. And this guy pulled him out of the ground, first ball of the match, and it's gone about 40 yards into the neighbouring field. And I said to Phil, I said, oh, a little bit short that one, mate. I said, he picked that up. Anyway, next ball, Matty's had him RBW, so he's gone. New batsman comes in, first ball, nicked off to Hortz. And I said, Slats, he's now on a hat-trick, mate. Fourth ball, he's on a hat-trick. Anyway, dot ball, fifth ball, guy nicks off to Halpty at first slip. So after his first over, Matt had taken 3 for 6. And that was his minor counties debut.
It's not a bad first over, is it? Really good.
No. Just a nervous first ball, dragged it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great comeback. Wonderful.
What a comeback.
Oh, mate. Yeah. I think he finished with, it was a 50 over game, 4 for 39 off his 10.
Great stuff. Kev, it's been a pleasure.
I'm not a badger, by the way, and I've not researched that. I just remembered it.
Oh, no, it's been a pleasure, Kev. Thanks for your time again tonight. Please
Cheers,
stay
mate.
while I wrap up. Kieran, do you want to ask anything before we go, or say anything before we go?
No more on that. Just, have you got your superpower yet? Have you thought about it while you were doing that story?
Not really, no, mate, because I don't know who's listening. So
keep it close to your chest, Kev. Keep it close to your chest.
No, it's been a real pleasure.
Cheers, guys.
Stay well, and it won't be long. As I say, I'm positive. It won't be long. We'll be back, and when we are, we will love it all the more. So,
yes, no, I really enjoyed it, guys. Thanks for asking me, and Darryl, great to see you.
Brilliant.
Nice, Darryl. People who've tuned in probably didn't realise that me and you played Oxfordshire youth cricket together and Oxfordshire over 50s, along with Neil Megson.
It's a great memory to have, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, wonderful, mate. When we played that first game over 50s, it was 36 years since we'd last played together, and
it's amazing.
Awesome. Not many people have done that.
No, quite proud of that, actually.
Definitely. I was the only. Is there anybody else, Kieran? You've been with Oxfordshire cricket for a number of years now. Probably. How long have you been there? 12 years?
14.
14. Have you ever had an Oxfordshire player play for you who's worn a home knit jumper?
Potentially we have.
Pardon?
Potentially we have, but I couldn't possibly remember. Is it one of the Taylors by any chance?
No. It's just that I've got a county photo when I was 14 playing with Darryl and Meggers, and they've all got their smart club jumpers on, and a couple have got Oxfordshire jumpers with a little badge sewn here in the breast, in the front, and I'm on the end in my home knit, and
Darryl, there has been one question that's come through for you. I think people are worried about you. They're just asking, can you breathe?
I am struggling, if I'm honest.
Is this your social distancing mask, Darryl? Where'd you get that from?
Well, I'll tell you, if you go to the supermarket with this on, it does. The queues are gone.
They wouldn't get within 5 meters of you, let alone 2.
It's a great improvement on this normal look, to be fair.
It does work. It does work.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
Kev, sorry, mate.
Awesome.
again ever so much for joining us
Thank
and being
you.
our fast cricketer. Just to finish off, again, just giving page at the bottom, scrolling along there. If you can give anything you can to Lord Taverners or Oxfordshire Mind, that would be much appreciated. And it's probably just for me to say, don't forget about the Saturday Sports Show and other things that are coming up during the week. Keep safe. Let's hope we're going to get some cricket in sooner rather than later. But for now, keep safe and bye-bye.
See you guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.